Most people think that offshore accounts are a privileged resort for billionaires on Forbes list, but today, offshore schemes have become the ultimate weapon for international fraudsters, crypto scammers, and Ponzi schemes operators. How do you steal 100 million, move it across the borders in 5 minutes, and ensure that no financial regulator in the world can even find out your real name? Why are these jurisdictions so popular? The absence of public registers for ultimate beneficial owners. The ability to hire a professional director, for instance, an unemployed person from Riga suburb or a lawyer from Panama, who will formally own and manage the company for a couple $100 a month. Local courts and police are reluctant to respond to requests from other countries, dragging in processes out for years. What kind of offshore zones actually exist? Offshore zones, or tax havens, can be divided into several main categories depending on their geography, level of confidentiality, and exactly how they are used in global businesses. Classic zero-tax offshores. They are small island nations. Their key feature is the complete absence of taxes on income earned outside of that country. You only pay a fixed annual fee to the state budget, usually around $300 to $1,000. For a long time, they offered absolute anonymity. British Virgin Islands, the world record holder for the number of registered companies. Very popular for creating holding companies and own assets. Cayman Islands, the world's haven for hedge funds and large investment structures. Belize, Seychelles, Bahamas, Marshall Islands, the classics of quick and cheap offshores, which were often used in mass-scale schemes. European low-tax jurisdictions. These countries cannot be called offshores in the purest sense. They are not blacklisted and they do have taxes, but their legislation offers unique loopholes or special tax regimes. They are chosen by those who absolutely need to access to the European market, European banks, and the status of the clean company within Europe. Cyprus, a classic hub for holdings and IT companies. The corporate tax rate is just 12.5%, and dividends may be tax exempt under certain conditions. Malta. The official tax rate is 35%, but thanks to the tax refund systems for foreign shareholders, the effective rate can be reduced to as low as 5%. Luxembourg and Netherlands, favorite destinations for Silicon Valley giants and multinational corporations. They are used to roll royalties, loan interest, and dividends tax-free. Who chooses them? Major gambling operations, online casinos, IT businesses, and fraudsters, creating pseudo-European investments fund. Asian and Eastern financial hubs. These jurisdictions attract businesses with their stable legal systems, prestige, and territorial principle of taxation. UAE, for now actively replacing classic offshores. For a long time, there were no taxes at all. Now, a 9% corporate tax has been introduced, but free zones still offer unique conditions and high confidentiality. Dubai is currently the world's main capital for protecting assets from any external pressure. People come here for safety and anonymity. Who chooses it? Crypto entrepreneurs, major investors, as well as exits for scammers and crypto Ponzi schemes, who need to launder millions of dollars and find physical asylum. Hong Kong is the main gateway to China and Asia. If a company conducts its businesses outside of Hong Kong, the profits tax rate is 0%. Singapore is the exact opposite of Dubai when it comes to oversight. People come here not to hide, but to build a reputation and attract institutional money. It offers massive tax incentives for startups and international headquarters. It is chosen for operating in Asia and US market, scaling tech businesses and working with major banks that instantly block transactions from shady jurisdictions. Compliance here is very strict, making it difficult to fraudsters to gain a foothold. Singapore is preferred by legitimate, large-scale businesses. Domestic US offshores. Many forget that United States is one of the largest tax havens in the world, one that is very reluctant to share financial information with other countries. State of Delaware. More than half of US public companies and Fortune 500 companies are registered here due to extremely flexible corporate law and courts that specialize in commercial disputes. Wyoming and Nevada. They offer minimal taxes and high level of anonymity for limited liability companies owned by non-residents of US. Okay, that makes sense. But how exactly do fraudsters use these offshore zones? The Matryoshka scheme. Instead of creating a single offshore company, a chain of them is established. A company on Seychelles owns a company in Belize, which in turn owns a company in the United Kingdom. And at the very top of this pyramid sits a trust in New Zealand. To ensure that investigator or defrauded investors get stuck in the very first step, sending a legal request to each jurisdiction costs money, takes time, and requires a court order. Fraudsters use this to buy time to move and liquidate the assets. Trade-based money laundering and scam imports. Laundering stolen money under the guise of international trade. The fraudster's offshore company allegedly sells a shipment of electronics, equipment, or what is even easier, high-tech IT consulting services to their own clean company. Prices are inflated hundreds of times over. For example, cable worth $1 is sold for $100. Why fraudsters use it? The money is moved to the offshore zone completely legally as payment under a contract. To a bank, this looks like a routine import-export operation. Once again, why does this work? Simple and simplified example. Because if a thief buys bread at the bakery and is later caught and convicted, the police will not come to the bakery to confiscate the money paid for the bread. This is because the owner is under no obligation to know the identity of the person to whom they are selling goods or services. Liability arises for the owner when they purchase goods or services. For instance, if a baker were to buy stolen flour from an unofficial store, the flour could be confiscated, even if the baker didn't know it was stolen. The offshores plus crypto ecosystem. Bypassing know your customer requirements on cryptocurrency exchanges. Major exchanges require identity verification. Fraudsters don't want to reveal their real passports. They buy a ready-made shelf company in offshore with a nominee director, open a corporate account on the exchange under its name, and use it to mix and cash out stolen cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency provides technical anonymity, while the offshore company serves as a legal smokescreen in front of fiat banks. The exit scam. The core idea is simulating a business collapse. An investment project or crypto fund collects money from their users, then claims,
"We were hacked. The market crashed."
In reality, all the funds are routed through convoluted loan agreements to the accounts of offshore companies registered to nominees. Legally, the bankrupt company is clean, while the real owners pocket the money in the safe haven. Which scheme did you find the most sophisticated? If you found this video interesting, please subscribe and leave a like. This lets me know you enjoyed, and I will make even more detailed video about offshore fraud schemes. Thank you for watching and bye.